Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, this is Charlene Marie Lifestyle. Today we're going to have a great day. We're going to be doing a pretty short video, I would say. It's going to focus on 5 ways, that's 10, 5 ways to successfully grow your plants. Some people feel that the faux plants is the way to go, but it's really a choice. You know, I'm a plant mom. I have about 30 house plants. 30. It sounds like I said dirty, but 30 house plants. And we're going to jump right into the video and start with the first tip. First tip is going to be lifestyle, okay? You have to figure out, what is your lifestyle? Stephanie, what do you mean? So, if you're a person that takes trips and you're not home, like physically not home to water your plants, there are tools that you can use, and I'll plot one here to, you know, water the plant while you're away. However, you don't want to rely on that for long periods of time. So you would want to look into plants that are very, very low maintenance, which can take somewhat of neglect, which I would say a snake plant. I'm going to show you that plant in a second, but that plant can go a really, really long time and kind of like be in a drought state, and it's very resilient, okay? And now we're going to get to number 2, okay? That's 4. Number 2. So number 2, location. Where do you plan to put the plant, and is it conducive to the plant growing? Okay, so that's another factor that you want to factor in. I always recommend for beginners, do low maintenance plants. This is considered to be a low maintenance plant. The lighting is indirect lighting, and so lighting is what we're going to talk about next. That is, you know, location. Location, it outside of, after you figure out your lifestyle, location, meaning lighting, is like the second thing to be the biggest to me in growing a plant, because really a plant can come back, you know, from certain things, but location, if the location is not right, the plant will not thrive. And so you want to see, how many windows do I have in my house, you know, or my apartment, my condo, my townhome, my room, whatever, wherever you live. What is your lighting situation? The lighting, location, it's really the same thing. Wherever you put your plant, is the plant going to be happy there? You're going to know if the plant is happy there. Case in point, this plant, you can see it has no brown leaves or anything. It's so healthy and green. It's just doing really, really well. It's almost time to be repotted, right? And so you can see this plant is really happy here. It actually has other like leaves growing on it. This one is really, really new. Over the last couple days, these two, like this plant is thriving so well. It's doing so good. So I know it's happy here, okay? And so once again, lifestyle. Number 2, location. Location is queen. And so after you see your plant thriving in the area, you know that it's doing well. I will put the name of this plant in the corner of this video, but I also want you to know this is the key way to tell if you're doing something right with your plant or you're doing everything right with your plant, because it will show you by its presence how it looks, okay? And so here you see a window here, and my money tree plant. This plant has been pretty slow growing, I would say. It's doing really well here now that I've changed the actual location, and it really seems to appreciate this indirect lighting. This is a case of indirect lighting. When this side is a little shadier, on this side of the plant it is more sunny. So how do you work with the plant in the way of location, lighting. If there's an issue with it, if you feel like the plant is not receiving enough light, you just turn it that way. Okay, so location, lighting, it matters. So this way, this side may not be getting that much of sun right now, but this way these leaves are able to benefit. And if you just rotate it once a week, that is enough where the plant can become balanced and make sure that all of the leaves is receiving the solar rays, the nutrients, and everything from the sunlight. Okay, and so if a plant is not happy in the area, switch it around, move it to a different location. You would be surprised what moving a plant from one area to another, and you don't have to move it from another room. It can just be prop it up higher. This plant here is sitting on a table. If it was sitting lower, it would do fine because the light is shining down, but by it being elevated, it is helping the plant to receive more sun rays, and I believe for this particular plant, it's doing very, very well. So my recommendation would be starting with plants that are easy to grow. That is a big thing. And even if your lifestyle, I'm a homebody, but I don't want to constantly have to deal with plants every day, because I have I want to say about close to 30. And so for that reason, I need to still have balance, right? I can't just have every day, with my life dealing with plants. And so the way to combat that or balance that out is to have plants that are easy maintenance. And these are great tips for new plant moms. If you're thinking about getting a plant, because they work. I started dabbling in plants in 2017. I became very serious in 2019. So I've been a plant mom since 2019, I would say officially, and I've done pretty well. And so I'm definitely a person that I think can give you great advice about growing plants. So I want to get into the snake plant. This is the plant that I feel that every household should have. And if you're a new plant mom, this is the plant to start out with, okay? Let's head over to my snake plant. So you can see. The reason why I want you to see this plant is two things. Every plant mom, in my opinion, should start out with this plant. Easy. Two, it's very beautiful. As you can see, we're in my living room, and this plant is just beautiful. It really is. It's a statement on its own. But I moved this thing for two. I want you to see the surroundings and how it elevates the surroundings. In my opinion, it just really does. And this saucer thing at the bottom. So there is not one plant, not one, in our home that doesn't have a saucer. If you don't see one on the outside, that means that I bought a bigger pot and I have a plastic saucer on the inside. Why that is important? This is very important for two reasons. If I water this plant and there's any excess water, I don't want it to sit at the bottom of this pot, because if it didn't have anywhere to be released, if the water just piles and piles at the bottom of the dirt, the plant will suffer from what's called root rot. And what happens is it'll rot the root of the plant and kill it. So when I water this plant, a sure way that I'm not going to overwater my plant is this. You guys, look at this plant. Look how beautiful this plant looks sitting on this table. And we're going to talk about, I believe, the last thing that I wanted to talk about: decor. Decor. Plants are the star. Look at this. Beautiful decor. But look how this plant just gives that little pop of color. You know, I'm the neutral girly. I really like a neutral palette. It doesn't have to be all the same color, but I like a very calm palette. palette. Normally when I bring in a color, it's normally through greenery. Look at this. Let me show you something. Let me move this. Okay, it's still pretty, but we can just see, even if I move this up here, right? Let's move this here. Okay, it's pretty, but let me know if you think this plant sitting here doesn't look better. Okay, let me know if you feel, nope, Stephanie, that plant being there does not look better. And let me zoom in. And I have this elevated in something, but let me zoom in. Tell me that is not a look. Tell me. All of that texture, it just gives a very luxurious vibe. It's giving luxe, it's giving luxury, it's giving green. You know, I'm the neutral girly standing here looking neutral, but look, okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And guys, I'll see you next week. Bye.